Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm making a very interesting and different dish for you. This is from the region of Coorg, and it's the Coorg region of Karnataka. And there are many dishes that are famous from Coorg. I mean, you have the kadumputtu, which is a rice ball, and you have akki roti, which can be Mangalorean or Coorgi. You certainly have a bamboo shoot curry, which is brilliant and very hard to make because cleaning the bamboo shoot is not easy. But by far, the single most famous dish in Coorg has to be Pandi curry. The pork curry in a black masala eaten with some nice steamed ghee rice or with akki roti or with the kadumputtu, any of those is brilliant. So that's what I'm making for you today. So for that, there are a few key steps and key ingredients which really cannot be replaced but can be made at home. So let's get started. For the first step, what I want to do is I want to marinate my pork. So I have about 1 kilo of pork over here, and if you don't eat pork, you can use lamb, but the traditional curry is made with pork, of course. So I'm going to use some Kashmiri red chili powder, some turmeric, and a little bit of salt, which may be hard to see on a white plate. But I'm putting that in here. I'm going to marinate this for about an hour. So we'll just drop in there and mix it up and marinate it. So that's one step. And at the same time, I'm also going to make a mixture which has to be cooked. Now that mixture, the best way to make this mixture is to use a mortar and pestle, the old fashioned, just like grandma used to do it. So in that, what I will put is some onions, some garlic, and I have green chilies, and these are 10 to 12 green chilies. So this is a spicy dish. It's not for the faint of heart for sure. Some ginger and some freshly chopped coriander. So we put that in our mortar and pestle, and then it's a labor of love. You keep on pounding away until you get a nice smooth mixture in there. Now the mixture shouldn't be completely pasted. That's why we're using a mortar and pestle. It should be coarsely grinded, so coarsely ground, excuse me. So I'm going to put all of this in there. My mortar is almost full at this point, but that's okay because this is all going to reduce down, as you'll see. So step one, I'm going to just toss it by hand and marinate for an hour. And then the next step, of course, is to grind this to a fine paste. So let's get started. So now you can see I built some muscle doing that, huh? It takes some work, but it's worth it. This is the texture you want, nice, coarsely ground. And in the meantime, this pork has been marinating for about an hour as well, so we're good to go there. What I've done is I took out some pork fat from these pieces here. It's in my pan, and we want to render this down a little bit and get it liquefied as much as we can. And the reason for that is because that has a lot of flavor in it. And we're going to cook our nice ground masala over here in that pork fat along with some oil if necessary. And that's going to take a few minutes to get done. Okay, so get a closer look. You can see I have a lot of pork fat over here that's rendered down. So we're going to take these pieces and put it back with our marinade. And we're going to use that same pork fat over here to fry our masala, and that will give you the best flavor. Now you can use oil instead of doing this step, and it's a little bit healthier, of course, but guys, a dish like this, you're meant to savor the flavors. Don't bother about it being super healthy. So now I have my oil that's nice and hot, and so I'm going to take my masala, which I had a nice workout grinding, and put it in there with a nice flutter. I'm also going to add a couple of sprigs of curry leaves to this. Just a few, maybe 2 sprigs of curry leaves should be good. And we're going to let this cook until it's nice and brown, and then we move to our next step, which is essentially adding the pork. Okay, now you can see my masalas are cooked off, and the aroma, guys, is unbelievable. Your kitchen and your guests, on your family members, whomever you're cooking for, they're going to love this. So my masala is done. I'm going to add in my pork. And I also will now add some water to this. We store water in a Jack Daniels bottle. I guess most of you know that's my favorite drink. So there are plenty of empty Jack Daniels bottles. So why let it go to waste, right? So I'll put about half a liter of water in this for now. We may need to keep adding water as we go, but we'll see how that goes, right? So there's about, maybe a little bit more. That's about a half a liter of water over there. And I'll give it a quick stir. Now this has to cook for about 30 minutes or so. The end of it, you want the consistency of this curry to be thick. Now if you're eating with rice, you can make it thinner, it's really your choice. But a nice thick curry also goes well with rice, goes well with the akki roti like I said, or the kadumputtu, which is the traditional Coorg rice ball. This is good to go, it's nice and stirred. And I'm going to cover this about on medium heat, and this has to cook for about 30 to 45 minutes till the pork is cooked. And while it's cooking, I want to tell you, so the first time I had this dish was a very good Coorg friend of mine who's also an avid reader like myself, Machaya Kalangada, who goes by Machu. And Machu made this with such gusto and enthusiasm that I looked at it and said, wow, this is a dish that I have to learn to make. And what he made was brilliant. So Machu, I hope I can replicate those flavors. And if you're watching this one's for you, right? So we'll be back in about 30 to 45 minutes. And okay, so as you can see, our pork is well cooked. We have some nice fatty pieces in there as well. And there is some water in there which will reduce down, so not to worry. What I did was, as I went along, this dried up. So I added more water just to make sure my pork is through. Now the next step is adding the key ingredients which aren't easy to find, but you can make this at home. So one is the black masala. This is called Coorg pork black masala, and this has to make one portion for 1 kilo, about 4 teaspoons of coriander seeds, 2 teaspoons of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of black mustard seeds, and 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds, right? And you want to roast these and then grind them. So you can do them fresh, or I've done it in advance already. So I'm going to put about 5 to 6 spoons of this in there to give it a flavor. So that's about 3 spoons. So I'm putting heaping spoons. I don't want to be careful. I don't add too much. But there's no thing as too much spice. That's one. So that's one key step. The other one, of course, is the kadumputtu. It's called kadumputtu, which is a very traditional Coorg tamarind. So if you can't find kadumputtu easily wherever you are, then I would recommend using regular tamarind. And along with this, we add the kadumputtu. Like I said, this is kadumputtu, and you can see how it's a nice thick black tamarind paste that I got from Coorg, freshly made, and substitute regular tamarind, like I said as well. I'm going to put about 1 to maybe 1.5 teaspoons of it. That's about 1.5 teaspoons. But I like tamarind, so guess what? I'm going to add a little bit more. That should do it. And now you can see I've got the color. If you remember, the color before this was more of a light brown, and now it's close to black. And it's going to get darker because we're going to cook this for another 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes, that really is it, guys. That's done. That's your fantastic Pandi curry, as it's called. So we're going to wait 10 minutes, come back. I'll show you the nice color that it generates. Okay, so our sauce is done. Look at that. Perfect black color. I think my Coorg friends will be proud of what I've done here. The oil is separated from the gravy. That's when you know it's done. And this is it, guys. Pandi curry. And today I'm going to enjoy this with some hot steamed rice. And of course, choice is yours on what you like with it. But flavor. You can see I'm already swollen because I'm drooling. I'm ready to eat this. And do try this at home because it is absolutely mind-bogglingly good. Alright? And if you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.